أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. The true believers are those when Allah is mentioned, their hearts are filled with fear. How do you feel when Allah is mentioned? So brothers and sisters in faith, you see the fear of Allah, when they heard the name of Allah, their hearts filled with fear, that led them to the comfort of the heart. Why? Because الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. It is with the remembrance of Allah that the heart finds rest. And my dear sister, question: are you a believer? Am I a believer? Are we believers? Are we true believers? Before you answer the question, brothers and sisters in faith, please listen attentively. Listen to these characteristics. Listen to these qualities. And after that, you can answer if you are a true believer or not. Why? Because قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم. So are you a believer? Are you a true believer? If you are, please listen to this, and after that you can prove to yourself, you can give the answer to yourself. Search in your heart and listen to these qualities that inshallah we are going to discuss, and see, do I have them? Am I a sincere believer? Allah said, إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. Are you a believer? Listen. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. The believers are those when Allah is mentioned, their heart quick. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. The believers, the true believers, are those when Allah is mentioned, their hearts tremble. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. Indeed, certainly, the true believers are those when Allah is mentioned, their hearts fill with awe. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. The true believers are those when Allah is mentioned, their hearts are filled with fear. How do you feel when Allah is mentioned? How do you feel when Allah is mentioned? Because the believers, their heart tremble when they hear the name of Allah, because they know He is Al-Ghaniyu. He is self-sufficient. He doesn't need us, but we need Him. Due to that, their heart tremble when they hear the name of Allah, because they don't know if their deeds are accepted or not. Because Allah doesn't need your deed, you need Allah. So إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله, when Allah is mentioned, وجلت قلوبهم, their hearts are filled with fear. And these brothers and sisters in faith, this fear leads them to worshiping Allah the way He's supposed to be worshipped. This fear at the end leads them to the comfort of the heart. Didn't you hear what Allah said in Surah Al-Zumar? He said, Allahu nazzala ahsana al-hadith kitaban mutashabihan mathani تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء. Brothers, Allah nazzala ahsana al-hadith. Allah sent down the most beautiful message. Allah nazzala ahsana al-hadith. Allah sent down the most beautiful narration. Allahu nazzala ahsana al-hadith. Allah sent down the most beautiful statement. Kitaba, a book, the Quran. Mutashabiha. Its parts look like the other. Mutashabiha. Its parts explain the other. Mathani. Mathani. It's often repeated. Now listen. تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم. Their hearts, their skin, the skin of those who believe in their Lord tingle. The skin of those who believe in their Lord shivers. تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم ثم تلين جلودهم. Then after that brothers, تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم. Their skin and their hearts soften. Why? Because they heard Allah. إلى ذكر الله. Their skin and their hearts soften to the words of Allah. ذَلِكَ هُدَى اللَّهِ. That is the guidance of Allah. So brothers and sisters in faith, you see the fear of Allah, when they heard the name of Allah, their hearts filled with fear, that led them to the comfort of the heart. Why? Because الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. It is with the remembrance of Allah that the heart finds rest. So brother and my dear sister, are you a true believer? Because إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. Quality number 2. وإذا تليت عليهم آيات زادتهم إيمانا. And quality number 2, if you are a true believer, so look, search in your heart. وإذا تليت عليهم آيات. And when the communications of Allah are being recited to them, زادتهم إيمانا. They increase them in faith. Whenever you hear the Quran, how do you feel? Do you feel like your iman is being increased? It's a sign. It's a quality of a true believer. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Whenever they hear the communications of Allah, whenever they hear the revelations of Allah, whenever they hear the verses of Allah, whenever they hear the signs of Allah being recited to them, it increases them. They increase them in faith. You will see that they become stronger and stronger in faith. This is the second quality of the true believer. Whenever he hears the Quran, he is stronger it makes him stronger and stronger in faith. So ask yourself deep down inside, check, fattish, check in your heart, am I a true believer? Whenever Quran is being recited, how do I feel? How do I feel? Their iman increase when Allah is mentioned, because they know it is the word of Al-Aliyu, the exalted. Quran is the word of Al-Aliyu, the most high. Their iman increased because they heard the word of Al-Azimu, the mighty splendor, Allah. Their iman increases because they heard the word of Al-Kabiru, the greatest, Allah. They heard the word of Al-Kabiru, the perfection of greatness, Allah. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. The true believers, when the communications of Allah is being recited to them, it increased them in faith. Brother, go to Surah At-Tawbah, listen to Allah. وَإِذَا مَا أُنزِلَتْ سُورَةٌ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ أَيُّكُمْ زَادَتْهُ هَذِهِ إِيمَانًا فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَزَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَهُمْ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ. And whenever a surah is being revealed, whenever a chapter of the Quran is being revealed, فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ, some of them will ask, أَيُّكُمْ زَادَتْهُ هَذِهِ إِيمَانًا, who among you has his iman increased by this revelation, by this surah? Listen to Allah. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, as for those who believe, فَزَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا, the Quran, the surah, increase their faith, make them stronger and stronger in faith. وَهُمْ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ, and they rejoice. So brother and my dear sister, quality of the true believer number 2 is that whenever he hears the communications of Allah, whenever Quran is being recited to you, how do you feel? If you feel like your iman is going up and up, you're getting stronger, becoming stronger and stronger in faith, then yes, congratulations, you have the quality number 2. Now listen to Allah again. Let's go back again. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا. Quality number 3. وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. And they rely on Allah, and they put their trust in Allah. This is one of the quality of a true believer. He relies on Allah. When it comes to sustenance, he will take the means and he will rely on Allah. When it comes to health, he will take the means and he will rely on Allah. When it comes to happiness, he will take the means and he will rely on Allah. When it comes to wealth, he will take the means and he will rely on Allah. All he do is relying on Allah because he knows. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Yes, the true believer, he knows that whoever relies on Allah, then Allah is enough for him. So that's why when it comes to everything, he will take the means and he will rely on Allah. When it comes to protection, the true believer will take the means of being secured and rely on Allah. He will know that it is not his action that is making him, that is protecting him, but rather the protector is Allah. أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِكَافٍ عَبْدَهُ. Bala, bala, bala. Allah is enough. He is the protector. So when it comes to the true believer, وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ, Allah is enough for him. That's why when something bothers him, what happened to him? الذين قال لهم الناس إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. The believer, he said Allah is enough for him, Allah is enough for you. So do you feel that way? Because Allah said, يا أيها النبي حسبك الله ومن اتبعك من المؤمنين. Allah is enough for you. So are you relying on Allah? Whenever a situation, a matter comes, how do you act? Do you rely on Allah or not? If yes, then congratulations, brother, you have won sign number 3. Yes. Quality number 4. Brothers and sisters in faith, الذين يقيمون الصلاة. How is your prayer, brother? Are you coming only to Jumu'ah, or you are taking care of your 5 daily prayers? Are you praying on time? Are you? الذين يقيمون الصلاة. The true believers are those who keep up their prayers, are those who keep their formal prayers, are those who establish their prayers, are those who keep their prayers going no matter what, and no matter how busy the day gets, their 5 daily prayers is intact. They will do it. That's their top priority. It doesn't matter what happened, their prayer is first. Do you feel that way? Do you feel that way? How are you in your prayer? And now, how are your children praying? Are your children praying? Are they praying? Your family, are they praying? Didn't you hear? وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا لَا نَسْأَلُكَ رِزْقًا نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُكَ واذكر في الكتاب إسماعيل إنه كان صادق الوعد وكان رسولا نبيا وكان يأمر أهله بالصلاة والزكاة وكان عند ربه مرضيا. How are you in your prayers? A true believer always keeps his prayer, always establish and performs his prayer, because the prayer is what distinguished between us and the non-believers. So the believer, the true believer, الذين يقيمون الصلاة. And how are you even praying? Are you praying the way the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed, as he said, صلوا كما رأيتموني أصلي, or no? The believers, when Allah is mentioned, their hearts tremble. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتٌ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. And when the communication of Allah are being recited to them, they increase them in faith. وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And they rely on their Lord, they rely on Allah. الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ. Those who keep up their prayer, those who perform their formal prayer. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. And they spend in the way of Allah. If you have this quality, if yes, you have them, then brother and my dear sister, congratulations, you are a true believer. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi alladhina istafa. All thanks are due to Allah, the one and only creator, the supreme and the most high. We thank him subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. Brothers and sisters in faith, now ask yourself as you are going home, am I a true believer? All these qualities that my brother today mentioned reminded me from the Quran. Do I have it? If you do, then congratulations, because brother, you will have good life here in this world and the hereafter. Allah has promised the believers that they will have good life here and the hereafter. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة. Whoever does good, male or female, and he is a believer, listen to Allah. Allah promised, فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبًا. He will, brother, you will lead a good life in this world. Death will be good for you. Grave will be good for you. The day you will be standing before Allah will be the best, and Jannah will be your final destination. إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا. كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا. Brothers and sisters in faith, وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة الرزق قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل وأتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون. So my brothers, I pray, may Allah increase our iman, may Allah increase our faith, may Allah make us stronger and stronger and stronger in faith. Ya Allah, we are human, we are not perfect. Ya Allah, and you know we are your slaves. Ya Allah, always remind us of you and accept us, Ya Allah, whenever we come back to you. Ya Allah, take our soul when you are pleased with us. Ya Allah, make our death beautiful, make our death sweet. The day we will enter our grave, Ya Allah, expand our graves, bright graves, widen our graves, send light to our grave, Ya Allah, and make our graves a part of Jannah. Ya Allah, the day that you will resurrect, Ya Allah, we pray that when we stand before you, Allah, do not ask us anything. Have mercy on us and put us, grant us to your home, the home of peace. Ya Allah, you are the most merciful of the merciful. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما اعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى. اللهم بلغنا رمضان. اللهم اشفنا واشف المسلمين. اللهم رب لنا اولادنا. اللهم ارزقهم حب القران وحب السنه وحب المساجد ولا حول ولا قوه الا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم اغفر لابائنا وامهاتنا واجدادنا وجداتنا برحمتك يا رب العالمين ولا حول ولا قوه الا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Brother, today is Friday. Don't forget to say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad as much as you can on your way home. Today is Friday. Say it a lot and send everything, the reward to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah will bless you. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وقوموا إلى صلاتكم.